Hello everyone and welcome to the 6th round of Vtracc Season 25 V-3. It is a beautiful sunny, albeit cold day in Barcelona. We are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia for the final round of this season. My name is Julian Strasser, and together with me here today is the Italian Jojo. How are you doing?
Hello, Julian. Thank you for having me. I'm doing pretty well today. To be fair, I'm also kind of sad because this is going to be the last race for the time being for Vtracc in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Next season, we're going to be on iRacing.
Exactly. Next season, we are going to iRacing, so this is the last chance for these drivers to, for now, show who's the boss in ACC. And in order to find that out, there are the standings. So let's start immediately with the top class standings. The pro standings, we have got Omet Ohm and Rubin Ekomatic separated by 5 points. And the thing is, what we have calculated, according to our rule set, whoever wins today wins the championship. So that is still something interesting which is going to happen today in this race. There's also an interesting battle between Ryoma Kirihara and Isaac Umbers for who is going to get the bronze medal in the pro class. But yeah, this is going to be something to look out for during the race. For the silver standings, we have got Psycho Kaiser, who last time around managed to manifest themselves as the silver class champion. First time he's been champion since, I think, IVGTC Season 3.
That's old. That is actually quite old. As I think 3 years, 2 years, something like that.
I think that was the first ACC season.
So yeah, I mean, that was
funnily enough,
a long time ago.
Yeah, Psycho Kaiser has done great in the first ever ACC season and the last ever ACC season. We're not gonna mention the middle.
Nothing happened at Vtracc.
For the AMs, we have Zero Alexander, who last time around managed to become the 2-time in a row AM champion, and today they're still participating again, trying to maybe prove why they have won and that it was not a fluke. In any case, they have won this season of the AM championship, so we'll have to see what happens there. There are still battles open here though as well. P2 is, for example, one of those battles, and there is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see who manages to get there. It seems that David Gameplay is not here today, so the battle for P2 will be between G-Fox Foxington and Tars the Bartender, it seems that, like. Also, as well, there is a huge battle. Look at how close the points are between P6 and P14. So there are a lot of positions still to be manifested here. And finally, for the team standings, it's getting close at the top, especially between Phoenix Racing, VTuber Academy, Jade Phoenix, and Oreo Tempo. But there is close on their tails.
On the tails, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to find the least misinterpretable word there. And in any case, yeah.
To be fair, we are talking about VTubers here. I think that 95% of us do have a tail, so
that might very well be the case. But in any case, Phoenix Racing VTuber Academy and Phoenix Racing VTuber Academy Purple Inferno are also within a shot to reach the top. And there's also a table battle between Technoburst, Rev Up by Technoburst, and Vitality Bagu Racing Team. So we'll have to see who can decide those for themselves. For now, we are in the qualifying session.
Yes, we're in qualifying right now. And we are seeing here our AM drivers being here on track. Where right now we Lou Maynard, which I think that is the old Mercedes. Yeah, speaking of old cars, we also have the old NSX. Old NSX. The NSX Evo 2, driven by Primer Ice-T, which puts the car temporarily on pole position with a 146.455. Not a bad time for Primer, Rev Up Technoburst, putting the car temporarily on class pole, which could be good. However, the track... no, the track is already an optimum.
The track is optimum,
I guess that the only thing that's going to matter right now is going to be the fuel load and the drivers not making mistakes. So it will be interesting to see how this qualifying session will evolve. Who else do we have in the set lap times? Nico Kitten is 1.1 seconds behind. Darcy Bartender puts the car in P2 temporarily. Slightly ahead of Nico Kitten, almost by 1/10. Then we see here Nico Kitten in the Purple Inferno McLaren 720S. I think that is the non-Evo McLaren. That is the quote-unquote old McLaren.
Yeah, but still, what I like to point out here, how far ahead is Primer Ice-T at the moment already?
Yes.
Like, a second ahead of the next car. I mean, I do say that, but Tals is currently 7/10 up on their time, so it's not an unbeatable time, it seems. Also, the best Sector 1 currently is with Neko Kitten in that old McLaren, so there is definitely potential to make up a lot of time to Primer Ice-T up in the front.
Yeah, I would actually argue that Primer's P1 is not as safe as you might think. Again, with such a huge gap, there might be the AM drivers trying to set the lap time, and which Sina does with putting the car in P4 1.5 seconds behind Primer. But yeah, they might want to set a time right there just to be safe. And Lily Yoshimi, hold on a second, 1.1 seconds behind, puts the car in P3. Huge improvements by Lily, which at Moza didn't really have a fantastic race, but right now has been able to put the car on temporarily the podium for the starting position. So that is great. That is a great improvement. Watch out, because I think I saw something moving in the standings. I think that it was Lou Maynard putting the car in P14.
But for now, Tals the bartender is 1.8 seconds up on the time. This is looking to get...
Oh, that is quick.
Oh my holy. That is an amazing showing. Oh boy.
Out of nowhere, Zero Alexandra comes in with a 145.682.
Zero says, I am the champion, I can show you how it's done, and that is exactly how it's done. Just shy of a 10th ahead of Tals the bartender on the first valid lap.
To be fair, there is one extra reason for why Zero Alexandra might want to have a great result here, which is not just for the Drivers' Championship, but for the Team Championship.
Exactly, the Team Championship is still going on. And another person who will be looking at that as well is Kaito Nasa, who is currently 2 seconds up on his time. So looking to get into P3. Look at this, Kaito Nasa ahead of Primer Ice-T now.
Great showing by Rev Up by Technoburst driver. Absolutely fantastic. As watch out, because we also have one of the contenders for the silver medal right here, G-Fox Foxington. Tell us what his delta is, Julian.
He's just about over 8/10 up on his time, so not looking to improve massively up to close to where he should be for a chance of defending that championship P2, but still improving up into P7 for now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Darcy Bartender does seem to have a lot more pace compared to his championship rival right here. So I'm not too sure about what chances G-Fox has to actually be able to secure P2, as Savage EJ just improved from P11 to P9, so that's a good showing. That's a good showing from our Lexus runner. However, that is not the first of the Lexuses. Let's see. because Selena, I know, is still ahead by 4 tenths.
Exactly, and is currently improving 6 tenths up on the delta at the moment. So could get this up into P5 if Selena manages to keep that time running. And is looking to also be the next one with a valid lap around the finish line. We're already in the last sector here. It seems that Kaitonasa has stopped the run so far. So
Yeah, for quite a while.
Selena, I know now the next one to potentially improve down to 4 tenths up on the time now, but they're still in the last sector. We'll have to see how much of an improvement there can still be. 6 tenths up, almost up to 7 tenths, but let's see, the exit was okay. It was 6 tenths up and up into P5.
And puts the car in P5. Not bad, Selena. That's a great showing from the American in the Lexus. Not too shabby at all. Nice.
G-Fox is following suit here. 6 tenths up on the time as well. Up into P5,
and
right
P5.
ahead of Selena.
Still quite far behind Tars the bartender though. If Tars has a race without any issues, I don't see G-Fox being able to close that second place, I'm sorry.
Additionally, Tars is currently challenging for the lead here in the AM class. 4 tenths up on his time. Let's take a look at the exit out of the last corner. He just needs a tenth up, losing a bit. 2 tenths up still. Is this going to be enough? And it is! 1.5 tenths ahead of Zero Alexander Ghost. Tars the bartender.
Oh, that's great. That is great showing from Tars. As I spotted with the corner of my eyes, our pros going on the track.
Yes, the pros are now going out. The pros and the silvers are now allowed to start the laps. The AMs are still out and about, though. And it seems that Selena, I know, is not done yet. 7 tenths up on her time right now. Would put her in P5, back ahead of G-Fox. Maybe even challenging Kaitona. So we'll have to take a look at what this last sector delivers for Selena. 1 second up on her time now. But there's still a few more corners left. The last chicane is sort of tricky.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that Selena does have quite a lot of experience here. Never mind, commentator's curse. I was about to say that she has experience from Gran Turismo 7, but...
commentator's curse number 1 for the day.
I
Let's take a look at Imantrix Saints then, who is 1 tenth currently up on their time. Still a bit of time to be saved here on the exits. Save 3 tenths here. So let's take a look. That's a nice exit line. 5 tenths up on his time. Up into P9.
That's a good improvement. Not too shabby, Matrix. That is a great improvement. And that means that the car is now on P9. That's a great showing from the German.
Now we'll have to see who was the first car out. It seemed to have been Ruby Nekomata for the pros. So let us take a look at, if I find the right camera here, let's take a look at an onboard lap around Barcelona. We're starting here on the start-finish straight, which is a rather long one. We're braking here at about 100. There we go.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful braking by Ruben Nekomata there into the T1 corner combination, which is called the Elf. And now we're in Renault, a very long right-hander. I don't know how to drive it, I'll be honest. But it seems that Ruby does. Now braking onto the Repsol sign into the Repsol corner, and now there's going to be a tricky braking point here. There is a bump on the road. Brake on the bump. That's what Ruby did here. It's difficult to understand.
Ooh.
Oh, a bit of sliding.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that tire pressures and tire temperatures might not be up to perfection, so Ruby Nekomata might struggle a little bit in the first lap, maybe also in the second lap, but after that I would expect her to just plow through and absolutely shred the tarmac with her BMW.
Absolutely, and now on the back straight, coming into La Caixa, which is the name of a local bank, I have been told. This infield section here into, I have no idea how to pronounce this, Banque Sabadell, something like that. I have butchered that, I am very sorry, as we're now going into Europcar and the chicane RACC for the final few corners. And now New Holland
New
as
Holland.
the last corner. A nice exit is needed here in order to gain as much pace as possible onto the long straight.
Looks
and
like
a
she had 143.
But immediately
Omet!
bested by Omet Ohm. Oh boy.
Man, okay. The fight for the Pro Championship is already raging on since qualifying, and I'm all here for it. That is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of the pros, it seems that Isaac Umbris so far had the slowest of the bank collapse, 1.4 seconds down on Omet Ohm's time. The important battle will be between Isaac Umbris and Ryoma Kirihara for P3 in the championship, though, and it seems that Ryoma Kirihara right now has the upper hand in that battle.
Yeah, Ryoma Kirihara, which is racing in the same team as Assetto to the Bits, which we can see right behind in the BMW M4. It's going to be interesting to see if those two drivers are going to do something for their qualifying strategy, or each one for themselves. So, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't really want to try and use the slipstream of the car ahead here, mostly because it is a very technical track, and I think that the dirtier and traffic is not worth the slipstream that you can have here on the main straight, which we're seeing Psycho Kaiser leaving right now, going into the first corner. Psycho Kaiser also 2.5 seconds behind, and that is a very precise gap. I don't think I've ever seen such a precise gap.
It's beautiful.
Ever.
It is perfection,
Yes.
almost.
Yeah, perfection.
But yeah, as I wanted to say here, the silver class is also still in existence, of course. Zula Kihara actually looking to append the current silver class lead of Psycho Kaiser, going a bit wide there, which invalidated the lap as Ruby Nekomata takes back the lead, and Omet Ohm not able to take it back immediately. Ryoma Kirihara close to it now, and Hexotil Ubitsa right behind that. Isaac Umbris also improved a bit, but still on the tail end of the pro field.
That is not enough. The main Technoburst driver, that is not enough for the Technoburst crew to actually be able to bounce back, as we're now seeing Kenneth Lusgelost, the last driver to have yet to set a lap time, is going to cross the finish line and push the car in P3 class. Not too shabby.
And of course, we have to mention the very welcome return of DJ Overdrive, who has managed to fix all of his PC and hardware issues and is now back on the actively participating grid, upgraded into silver class, so seems to have not lost any of the pace since last time.
Yeah, that is actually very nice to see, as we are now seeing also Psycho Kaiser coming across the finish line, and that's an improvement. P1 in class, actually ahead of all the AMs. That is the first silver to do so. Very, very nice. I think the Psycho is still on the pad, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, being on the pad, being so close to the pros, I mean, we know that Psycho Kaiser is a very fast driver, but still, I will never not be impressed about how fast he actually is. As watch out, because we're also seeing the very fast duo of Ruby Nekomata and Omet Ohm. They're going to finish the lap time, so let's see Ruby. The first one is going to complete the lap in the BMW, 1:32.940. Omet is also improving 1:43.087, but that doesn't seem to be enough, as Omet both Omet and Ruby seem to be resetting back to the pits. They are probably going back on track with fresher tires to try and improve their lap times. We also saw Ryoma Kirihara go across the finish line. Zula Kihara does not improve. He's still behind Lusgelost, and he's still behind Tars and Zero Alexandra.
Did at least improve ahead of two AM drivers, so now back a bit more towards the front, where as a silver class driver he quote-unquote should be. DJ Overdrive as well, currently looking to improve 1 second up on his previous time, which will also put him very close to Zula Kihara and Kenneth Lusgelost. Will it be enough? Right behind the two.
Yes.
So now it's only Tulsa Bartender and Zero Alexander, who have shown very big skill over the season, who are still mixing up the silver field.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, next season we maybe see them in an upper class compared to what they find themselves in right now. Though, to be fair, being on a different sim, that would be interesting to see how much of their skill here the drivers will be able to translate in a different simulator. As Isaac Ambras is going to be the first of the pros to finish their next attempt at a lap time. Let's see. The Marylander is going to approach the end of the... Wait, what's the number on the side? I couldn't see it.
The number on the side should be 722, right?
Wait, that is not a 7.
That's Japanese.
Yeah, that is Japanese. That might have been an invalid... No, that was not an invalid lap. Isaac Ambras does improve, but it's not enough. Let's see. Exerto Vista does not improve, but Roma Kiriara does put in the car only half a second behind Rubine Komata. To be fair, that's impressive. Being so close to Rubine Komata at home, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Also, going back to our silver scanner, what's his delta, Julian?
3.5 tenths up currently. There is potential to get ahead of Tars the Bartender. Yes, good exit there. And he's ahead, right behind Psycho Kaiser now. Reinstating the promised order of the Silvers being ahead of the M's. DJ Overdrive as well, looking very good right now. Improving ahead of Zula Kihara. Not ahead of Zero Alexander or Tars the Bartender though. So he's still behind the M's. Has one more lap though in order to improve. And just needs 2 tenths to be where he should be, quote unquote.
But the tires, I'm not too sure if the tires are going to hold up for so long, especially as, like, this trio of Isaac Ambras, Exotic Lubitz, and Ryoma Kiriara have done quite a long stint on this set of tires here in qualifying.
Well,
and
Isaac Ambras, as you said, has done quite a long stint, but is currently doing the best lap that he has done so far in the qualifying session. 2 tenths up out of Lakaisha. Let's take a look. Losing half a tenth there. But let's take a look into the RACC chicane. Out of it, 1.5 tenths up on his time, and invalidated there on the exit of the chicane. So that is not going to be an improvement. It might be an improvement from Haxotil Ubitsa though, who is 2 tenths up on his time, getting closer to his teammate Ryoma Kirihara up ahead. Not enough to improve in a position. However, Zula Kihara 1.1 seconds up on his time right now. That is looking to challenge his silver teammates, and he is in the front of the silver class. Zula Kihara.
Watch out. Rubine Komata also finishes the qualifying session. Both her and Omet did a very short stint on a fresh set of tires. That doesn't seem to have done actually anything. So these two did not improve. Their positions are the same. I think that we are only waiting on Psycho Kaiser and DJ Overdrive to finish their lap times.
Yeah, none of them seem to be
up the qualifying.
None of the two seem to be improving right now. DJ Overdrive here, starting behind the top 2 AMs, so very close to his classmates, but not close enough for now. Psycho Kaiser, on the other hand, 1 tenth up on his time, are losing all on the exit though here, and that is going to mean he stays behind Zula Kihara. So that is going to be the session now. That's going to be the starting order of the grid, and for that we are going to take a look at the... There we go. Oh no.
Oh, what's happening, Julian?
Zoom out a bit. There we go. Now let's take a look at the starting grid. We have in pole position Ruby Nakamata right ahead of Ometom, and the two are going to battle it out. Whoever wins this race wins the championship. In case, by the way, Omet does not win this race, Ruby Nekomata does win the championship in either case. So even if Ruby Nekomata were to DNF and Ryoma Kirihara were to win, Ruby will still win the championship. Behind that, we have Ryoma Kirihara and Haxotil Obitsa, the Oreo Tempo drivers. In the third row, we have Isaac Umbres, followed by the first of the Silvers, Zula Kihara. Then we have Psycho Kaiser and Kenneth Losgelust. Tars the Bartender and
Zero
Alexander are
the
next.
top 2 in AM. Yeah, I mean, very good showing from our drivers. However, right behind we have, I think, that is DJ Overdrive, which will have to contend with two AM drivers right ahead of him, followed by Primer Ice-T. Then we have Kaito Nasa, followed by G-Fox Foxington, Selena Aino, followed by
Neko
Peter, if I
Kitten.
recall correctly.
Then we've got
Then we have
Lily
Yoshimi.
Yoshimi.
And Metric Zanes, then we have DJ Overdrive, and that
Savage
is...
EJ.
Yeah,
Savage
Savage EJ,
and
my
in
bad.
Ian the Terrible. Then we have Kian Fry, Luna Lupo, and Hassie Thomas and Lou Maynard are rounding out the grid.
I mean, I gotta say, I remember way more people from their liveries than originally thought. My memory is actually somewhat good. I'm surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we'll have to see. There is a warm-up lap that everyone will have to contend. That was in Kaisha Bank on the big tower. So I was right; it was a bank. In any case, Ruby Nakamata. All that Ruby needs to do is to make sure Omet does not win. So the easiest way to do that is by winning. Well, easiest.
Or destroying your competition.
No,
I mean,
no, we don't do that here. We don't do that here.
we don't do that. We don't do that. However,
No,
in
no,
theory,
no.
in theory, that would be, in theory, possible.
As the
yeah,
owner
please
of the
don't do that,
league,
though.
as the owner of the league, active steward, I say, please no, please no. Guys, you
Yeah.
can do it safely. Come on, please.
Yes, everyone can do it very safely. However, let's say that Ometon were to DNF, Ruby could just cruise through the race and not really worry about anything. At the same time, if Ruby were to DNF, I think that Omet would also be able to just cruise and just finish the race without any worries. So I think that both of them will have a very good incentive to not die and being alive.
Absolutely. Staying alive is the name of the game here, but we know these two. They are going to fight. They are going to battle it out. They are not going to let the other person win this race easily. And that is exactly what we want to see. We don't want to witness a pushover victory because someone voluntarily drives to the side of the road. We want to see the battle. We want to see it unfold in hopefully as clean a possible manner.
We want to see the jinx as well. I love jinxing people.
Yes, of course you do. You can jinx the silver drivers because they don't have to battle for the championship anymore. So that's Psycho. Prepare to get jinxed.
Well, he's my boss at Technoburst. That would make it even funnier to jinx him. Thank you for the suggestion, Julian.
No problem. But now we have everyone being in double file already. They are approaching the start line. Everyone is in double file now. The entire grid is ready to race. Just a few more seconds until we get the green flag.
Oh god, the detention must be very high as they have both approached the start line, and that's green, 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 off we go, as, oh, there is a big hole there between Silver and AM. All the start seems to be very clean. Someone is way behind there, I don't know who that is.
Seems to be Lou Maynard.
Approaching turn 1. They are side by side, going into turn 1. Oh, very wide from Roma Giriardi. I think there was a little bit of contact with the Subiza, but it looks like that was clean, and all of our drivers have been able to get to the first few corners safe and sound. Watch out, because Tom does a late move trying to look for a gap, but doesn't seem to be one. A good defensive maneuvers from Rubin and Komata as we are now heading towards Sector 2.
Exactly, and it seems that the launch has been perfect for Ruby Nekomata. There is the battle already raging. Omet Ohm will definitely not want to let Ruby go as easily. And look at how wide Ruby went there already. So let's not hope that she's already feeling the pressure here. I mean, it could be. Omet Ohm is a very aggressive driver. We do know that.
Oh, Zul Kihara taking the 1994 layout. I mean, that is not a current layout, Zul. You want to stay on the actual layout. However, that will mean that Zula Kihara will have. Ooh, yeah, I was about to say Zula Kihara will have to contend with AM drivers. So that was a bit of a kerfuffle that happened there, and yeah, not a good race for Zul right here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. Yeah, that's just Zul going to the inside of Lily Yoshimi there, and Lily Yoshimi also getting turned around because of that.
Yeah, as we're now seeing Zula Chiara really struggling with traffic there. That was my worry about the drivers starting behind the AMs in silver. They will probably struggle with traffic as the top two is still going strong. Still very close as they've just finished lap 1 going into lap 2.
Yeah, if not track, why track shaped? That is the question that Zul probably asked himself there in that situation. As we see DJ Overdrive is just behind Tals, the bartender now, looking to get back to his silver compatriots. Tals, the bartender now is the leader actually of the silver M class. M class, of course. And is losing a bit of ground to the silvers up ahead. So DJ Overdrive will want to take a look to make it past. Side by side in the meantime between Hexatil Obitsa and Ryoma Kirihara. And it seems that Obitsa has taken position number 3 away from his teammate. Ryoma Kirihara though is already on the assault back. Not close enough, I don't think, for a slipstream overtake here on the back straight at the moment. Psycho Kaiser though is side by side with Kenneth Losgelöst and is overtaking around the outside here. What a move by Psycho Kaiser.
Not bad.
DJ Overdrive as well made it past Tals the bartender and is now with his silver compatriots.
Yeah, I would also like to point out that Tals does have Zira Alexandra right on his tail. So, I mean, that's a rat chasing a dog. You don't see that very often.
Absolutely, except for maybe if the rat has some transmittable disease that the dog is acutely aware of. Unfortunately, in this situation, it doesn't seem like Zero will have a chance immediately to go for a move, losing quite a bit of time there. But still 1.1 seconds ahead of Kaito Nasa, who is the next AM driver behind.
Yeah, we're also seeing Luna Lupo right now battling with Hesi Thomas. They're side by side going into turn 1. Please keep it clean, guys. Don't squeeze each other because going into turn 1 might be a bit of an issue as Hesi Thomas is able to defend very nicely around the outside with Yadi Terrible being very close by and potentially able to do some very interesting stuff. We know that the Audi in Ometom's hands is actually a very fast car. Let's see if Ian can get a bit of that talent. Just being passed from the car to the other car as these two are still going side by side. And it does look like, yeah, Luna Lupo is able to gain the position temporarily and secure it for the time being. However, with Hesi Thomas being this close by, we will probably see some evolutions of this battle as Luna Lupo misses the apex and Hesi Thomas is able to close in very easily. Bit tight on entry as the pit stop window just opened. And yeah, I think that Luna Lupo is able to pull away with a much better exit from that corner. Going into, what corner is that? Kaisha. Lou Maynard also very far behind everyone. And what happened right here? Oh, where is Luna Lupo?
That is a good question. It seems maybe Luna Lupo had a disconnect from the server. I think that's what happened.
That would be very unfortunate. That would be very unfortunate. Let me check Vtracc General. I mean, one thing I can say is that Yosuposu was not able to qualify, and there is no info on Luna Dupe. I think that their internet might have just died as Zuda Kihara swoops clean of Selena Aino and is trying to salvage a race that is not going too well for the Malaysian driver right here.
Absolutely, and another person who seems to be doing well right now is Ruby Nekomata, a second ahead of Omet Om now. It seems that this is Ruby has calmed down, Ruby has gotten into the rhythm and is trying to make a run for it now. Omet Om having to try and keep up with Ruby in a rhythm, and we know that that is something hard to contend with.
Also, I would like to point out the lines they are taking. They're absolutely beautiful. Just look at the lines that are drawing right here into the corners. So you will see that they're using the entirety of the track. They're not afraid of potentially dirtying their tires with a tiny amount of gravel, but not anything, but not much more. And yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Oh.
That is pure driving skill at play. That is
beautiful.
Such an beautiful.
Beautiful
such beauty.
esports level driving here by these drivers. The battle has intensified though for the silver class. Psycho Kaiser is back in the lead now. There was just a bit of a battle between Psycho and Kenneth, meaning that Kenneth has lost a bit of pace, and right behind him is now DJ Overdrive, actually.
In the slipstream.
Oh, look at that! Able to make the overtake here on the inside. Will he break later, or will Kenneth have it?
Yes, yes. DJ Overdrive has been able to complete a textbook overtake. No defense from Kenneth Desgeloster, as DJ was able to gain the position quite easily. Very nice.
Beautiful move.
That is actually very, very nice.
By DJ. And it seems that I'm struggling a bit. Key and Fry seems to have a bit of a unstable connections. Hazy Thomas is now yellow flagged. Lily Yoshini as well. Was there something that happened between the two?
Hopefully not. Hopefully nothing happened between the two. That would be very unfortunate. But that is a very damaged McLaren right there.
Here is something that happened with Lily Yoshimi. Oh! That is the rear end of iMentric Saints. Yep. So that happened earlier. So that might explain some of the damage that Lily Yoshini has garnered here.
Yeah, but I genuinely feel so bad for Mantrix. Poor guy can never catch a break.
And it seems that since we had them mentioned earlier in the chat, Kian Fry has also now disconnected from the server. Maybe that is due to internet issues.
And also Hazy being in the chat very vocal about not wanting anyone to join mid-race, and to be fair, that would be very understandable.
I think it was
join mid-race.
I think it was a question whether someone did rejoin, but I did not notice anyone rejoining.
Okay.
It would explain why. It would explain why there was suddenly a few yellow flags at the same time. But as we see Primer Ice-T now side by side with G-Fox going for the inside overtake here. Maybe let's have a look at whether that is going to be possible. Who breaks later? Primer Ice-T is on the inside, is making up the position here. But that also invites Selena Aino, who's now in the battle booth too, and has to move back a little bit, give a bit of a safety buffer to the drivers ahead, who are still battling. G-Fox, Foxing not able to go for a move right now. Yeah, I did not see anyone rejoining, I think. So
It's going to be interesting then. We'll probably give it a look after the race to confirm whether that happened or not, because if it did, that would be concerning. But it doesn't seem to have happened. So that might just be a bit of a server issue, maybe a lag spike or something like that, as Premier Ice-T is still keeping G-Fox behind, which means that unless something bad were to happen to Tars, I don't see G-Fox being able to salvage anything, because the gap between the two is massive, as I think that Ruby... Omet has actually set the fastest lap of the race this lap.
Yeah, it seems that a bunch of people have gotten a huge lag spike there in the server, which explains the yellow flag situation there. We will have to check the replay later on, whether someone joined the server or what happened there. Unfortunate, though, for everyone who was involved in the incident. But yeah, back to the action at hand. Matt Orm is catching Ruben Ekumata. The last lap for both was about on pace, and the best laps are just 100th apart from one another. Matt Orm with 143.202, and Ruben Ekumata with 143.212. So they are very close to one another in pace. Now it's just about who has the better consistency.
I think I spotted Omet right there going a little bit wide and missing the apex, as Zula Chiara is still struggling with trying to get his race back together. But is there even anything to salvage here? Like, I don't want to sound like a pessimistic person and doom and gloom, but like, there isn't really a lot he can do in order to get a good result back, unfortunately.
I mean, actually, looking at the delta between the different drivers, Zula Kihara is just 3-4 seconds behind his compatriots here. So, and they are all close to one another on the circuit, right ahead of him actually. So Zul would just need to overtake Kaito here, then Zero and Tals. And they all are rather close to one another. So there is still a chance for Zul to fight for a better position, but with slides like this, I'm not sure the tires are gonna like that.
I thought it was worse, to be fair. I thought that Zul had a much bigger gap to fill, but doesn't seem to be the case. He can do that easily as long as the trio of silvers ahead will keep on fighting.
Yeah, it seems that they are separating a bit right now. Psycho Kaiser 1.7 seconds ahead of DJ, and DJ about a second ahead of Kenneth. Kenneth is actually being challenged by Tals the bartender now, who wants to get ahead from Zero Alexander 1 second behind that. But yeah, that is going to be hard.
Yeah, this is going to be quite difficult. To be fair, there is a reason why they're in different classes. However, if Tals were to be able to put a car in a different class between him and Zero, that would be a pretty good safety insurance, because Zero would have to fight a pretty fast car in order to reach Tals. To be fair, I don't think that Zero needs to do that. They already won the championship. Finishing P2 will provide their team with quite a lot of points. So I think that what Zero and Tars want to do is just settle in the rhythm and just don't do any mistakes. That would be what I will try to do.
That's the theory anyways. Let's put it like that. In practice, Zero will want to win this race in the split.
I guess so.
There's no two doubts about that. And staying behind Tars is just not an option. Zero will want to prove what they're capable of. Will want to battle for the team's championship as well. That's also going to be important, as Zula Kihara is closing in on Kaito Nasa once again. A bit too far behind, I do think, for an opportunity to overtake here on the long straight.
Let's see right now, is Zul going to be able to do much with this slipstream? I mean, that seemed a good usage of this slipstream considering what Zula Kihara was able to do, but there is traffic right here. That is Kaito Nasa being a bit of a traffic problem for Zula Kihara, and I think that Kaito saw that and is like, okay, I'm going to let you by, don't worry. That will make it so both drivers will avoid issues.
It seems like a few people are currently having a bit of internet issues. Hazzy Thomas has now dropped out of the race because of extensive lagging. So if you are not capable of racing safely, unfortunately, it is the better choice to disconnect from the server and leave it for another day. So it is at least a smart decision to be done. we'll have to see whether Zero goes for the smart decision or for the all-out
decision.
The content decision. Now that's one way to put it. I was about to say the all-out offensive here on Tars the Bartender, but for that, yeah, Zero just in some corners does not have as good a line as Tars has at the moment, especially here through the RACC chicane we saw there.
And look at how much he gains on Lusgelust. Kenneth Lusgelust does really not gain a lot on corner exit there, and Tars can just sit in this slipstream and increase the gap on Zero Alexandre. That is a good showing from Tars. That is textbook 101 how to keep a lead.
Absolutely a strong showing, but the unfortunate situation is there is a bit of a thought process going on here for Tars. Will he want to try and overtake Kenneth Losgelust? Technically he's allowed to do it because classes in the way that they are here, being in the same car class, just in a different driver class, does not mean you're not allowed to overtake someone. You're still in the same lap. Technically you're battling for overall position, so it would be fine. But I'm not sure Tars will want to risk ruining Kenneth's race, who is in a completely different driver class.
Or potentially even his own, because if he starts on battling, he might lose quite a lot of time to Zero Alexandre, which might swoop in and say, "Hi, I take away your position. It is mine now." And so, yeah, that is... I mean, that will not be ideal, but still not terrible for Tars, as he will be able to still have a big enough lead to finish between the championship, as G-Fox is right now in P15 overall. That is a big gap between the two. As speaking of gaps, not a big one is the one between Ian Terrible and Savage GJ and Psycho Kaiser. Is doing a little bit of a spin. Let's see what happened here. That is the rough chicane. Nice and easy here. Oh, goes a little bit wide. Is that the curb? Yeah, that is an ACC moment on the curb.
That is the curb.
Psycho Kaiser is still able to keep it together, to be fair.
Yeah, the curb allowing for quite a lot of bounciness here, and that unfortunately meant for Psycho Kaiser, he lost 2 positions. He's now behind both DJ Overdrive and Kenneth Losgelos. DJ Overdrive now on his first race back in the silver lead.
Yeah, I mean, pretty impressive performance from DJ here. Coming back, I mean, he's literally comes back, doesn't say hi, P1 in class, leaves. I mean, that is literally what DJ Overdrive is doing. That is
what this
a very solid performance.
Absolutely. Very solid performance by DJ Overdrive here, and it was a bit of a question in terms of pace from the pre-qualifying. He was sort of in between Silver and M class, but now it's clear Silver was the right call. Right behind we have a Psycho Kaiser trying to go for a move on Kenneth Losgelos here.
He does! Bit of contact on the exit, but that is a overall clean overtake. A good job on Psycho Kaiser's end to actually be able to do a pretty nice overtake there. Solid, clean, not bad at all. And that also means that now Zula Kihara is back into the game. He just needs to overtake Tars the Bartender. But if he does that, he will be close to Kenneth Losgelos and potentially still get some points.
Amatrix Saints is now doing the mandatory pit stop. Yeah, Zula Kihara is now here in the slipstream. It will be enough. Tals being a bit early on the brakes here, letting Zula Kihara pass. Tals knows this is not his battle to fight here up ahead, and Zul now has a chance, is within a second of Kenneth Losgelos. So the entire class standing has been reorganized perfectly now. The pros in front of the silvers, in front of the AMs, and they're battling.
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what we want to see. And we hope the best to Zulakiar, especially as his race earlier was a bit compromised. So being able to have such a comeback is actually pretty nice. So we wish him all the best, especially because if he does his best, we will get content, and we love content here.
We love content here at Vtracc. Exactly, we do. And Psycho Kaiser might be the next one to try and provide them, because he is now back on the rear of DJ Overdrive, and this is for the silver lead. Psycho Kaiser, already the champion, does not want to be upended by this upstart DJ Overdrive. What do you mean? First race back after a hiatus? No, he cannot win ahead of me.
I mean, to be fair, there is also team points on the line here for Psycho Kaiser, so there is an extra incentive here for the Malaysian driver to do well, and being held up means that also those girls will be held up, which means Zulakihara, another Technobus driver, will be able to close the gap. So, I mean, even if he does not overtake DJ, in such a technical section, slowing down those girls will be something good overall for the Technobus team as a whole.
But look at the gap that the Lexus is pulling on the straight. I mean, that is pretty much the number one opportunity to go for an overtake out of the slipstream on the straight, but with the straight line grunt that the Lexus has, no chance for Psycho Kaiser to do anything in its little Aston.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit unfortunate that the Aston does not have the same straight line speed, but I mean we still see that Psycho Kaiser is able to gain a lot, especially in this section, and maybe he could go for an overtake, potentially a Kaisha. We will see, because, I mean, anything could technically still happen. As long as Psycho Kaiser is able to use the strength of his car well, he will be able to potentially do an overtake. As we're not seeing Ian the Terrible, what did he do? Oh, that was a little bit of a bump as Savage EJ spins, but good sportsmanship from Ian the Terrible for actually letting Savage keep the position. As Nagihara was able to overtake Losgelos, the kind of Losgelos has been overtaken by a rampant Zulakihara, which really wants to try and get his time lost back. Ooh, that's a bit wide, Zul. Take it easy, brother.
And
take it easy.
You know what the thing is? Zul is in a Lexus. We know the straight line grunt of the Lexus.
Yeah, that is true. Zul will be able to pull a little bit of a gap to Canada's Gilast, maybe get a little bit closer to Psycho, which will be able to, I wouldn't say gain time, but not lose time from the Lexus of DJ, just by sitting in his slipstream. So yeah, good showing from all of our drivers here, as Premier Ice-T is doing their mandatory pit stop right now. Pardon?
Ian the Terrible is still on the rear of Savage EJ, trying to go for a legitimate overtake. Let's see whether that is possible to be done at one of these times, as Psycho Kaiser is getting ever closer to DJ Overdrive as well.
Yeah.
I think there was a bit of a very close call there between the two. Yeah, Psycho Kaiser had to really go off the brakes here, out of the slipstream, in order to not rear-end DJ Overdrive and potentially take them both out of this race here. Nice overview by Psycho Kaiser to not go for something reckless.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Psycho will probably want to stay close to DJ and maybe attempt something later. I mean, the Rock Chicane is still going to destroy the flow and probably increase the gap. So I don't know what they will be able to do, as Roma Kirara is the first of the pros to serve their pit stop. That's a bit of an undercut from Roma.
And there was the overtake done by Ian the Terrible. Actually managed to go for it in the Repsol corner. Nicely done. This time safely done as well. So Ian the Terrible is now passed up into P16 overall.
So yeah, very good job from Ian right there. Rioma, we will see if the undercut will pay, as Kenneless get lost. The last in silver is, as probably said, but I lost, might as well try the aggressive move and undercut. Let's see if that will pay off for Kenneth. As Zulakihara, Psycho Kaiser, potentially Ian DJ Overdrive might lose time by battling or maybe by encountering some traffic, question mark. So let's see if it will pay off, but I don't have high hopes for that.
We'll have to see. I mean, there is a chance that... I mean, honestly, DJ Overdrive is 30 seconds behind Isaac Umbris. The reason there is this divide between Pro and Silver right now is because the Silver class have been battling. So I think there is a good strategical observation here by Kenneth Loskelöst, trying to get into some open space, being able to just do the laps without having the battling that is going on here. I mean, just look at this. Psycho Kaiser once again fainted to try and go for a move as DJ Overdrive is a bit wide. They are not side by side though for the exit of Lakaisha. But still, it's a good strategic call, I think, from Kenneth Loskelöst, and there's an actual opportunity here as both Omed Ormond, Ruby Nekomata, and Isaac Umbris are all in the pits now.
I think that is still a little bit of an undercut, but nonetheless a pretty good call from them. They are a bit 3 minutes earlier than the middle spot of the race, as Psycho Kaiser is still chasing down DJ Overdrive and does not seem to want to let him go away, as both of our leaders in Pro have served their pit stop, and it looks like Ruby was able to pull ahead quite a lot on Omet. That gap seems to be actually pretty huge.
3 seconds, 3.3 seconds. Yeah, it's over 3 seconds now. So well done by Ruben Nekomata so far for manifesting this lead without too much of a problem. The silver battle though is intensifying right now. We have Psycho Kaiser in a Lexus sandwich.
I mean, if I were in Psycho, I might think about trying to undercut DJ, or maybe go for the move here. And yeah, he does. He is able to go for the move, and he overtakes DJ Overdrive. Good showing.
But for how long? For how long is the question that I'm asking. We have seen the straight line speed of the Lexus. Now imagine the straight line speed of the Lexus also in the slipstream. But for that, first of all, Suna Kihara and DJ Overdrive would have to, well, decide who of the two gets the opportunity for that. And it seems that DJ Overdrive
looks
so
like
far would be it. But now, because of the battling, lost quite a lot of ground to Psycho Kaiser. 1.5 seconds behind now. Psycho Kaiser really stretching his legs. Oh, and there's a slight spin there from Soul.
Which might undercut? No undercut. The undercut is actually being done by DJ Overdrive and Psycho Kaiser compared to, of course, Zula Kiara. My bad. Sorry. I had a little bit of a brain fart right there. And yeah, we're seeing now Ruby Nekomata passing on the start-finish line with a 3.3 seconds lead. That is huge. That is genuinely massive, as they are now going to have to deal with lap traffic, as that is in I know, trying to survive. Good job from Ruby Nekomata to be able to overtake and lap very safely. That is a very good job, as Assetto is the only pro that has yet to pit.
And is gaining a bit of leading kilometers. Let's see. I mean, I think it is rather usual for Ubica to go for a late pit stop. We'll have to see how late it's going to be today, how many lead kilometers. Not many. I mean, Barcelona is a tire-hungry circuit. We all know that. Luckily, we don't have the hottest of temperatures today, so it's a bit safer on the tires, but still, not enough for Ubica to go for a 40-20 stint split.
Yeah, that was... Ooh, there was a contact there, as Psycho Kaiser is able to still put DJ Overdrive behind him. And so that's a good showing. We just passed the halfway mark of the race. And so I would argue, let's do a little bit of a recap.
DJ Overdrive almost managed to do the undercut there.
Yeah, looks like he almost did. I think he underfueled a little bit compared to Psycho Kaiser. Maybe 1 or 2 liters less.
No, it's nothing about fuel, because fuel there's a fixed time for the tire swap, the 30 seconds, so fuel does not matter in this regard here.
Oh, okay. Well, that just means that DJ was better at pitting, I guess.
It seems certainly like that is the case. And the final drivers are also now pitting. Oh, Tal's having trouble finding the pit stall.
Unfortunate.
Overshotting.
Unfortunate for Tals. He might lose the position on Zero Alexandria because of that, but that should still be fine. As he still has a pretty big lead on G-Fox. I mean, I don't see G-Fox being able to do much here, as Zulakihara did overcut the other two. Let's see if the time that Psycho Geyser and the Javer Drive lost fighting, if Zulakihara will be able to actually regain that lap time just by staying in clean air.
Zulakihara is exiting.
He's exiting the pits. That is Psycho Kaiser coming up, and it looks like the Zulakihara might have gotten the jump on these two. Zulakihara is able to put the car P1 in class.
What a move by Zulakihara, strategy masterclass it seems there. And now, I just know, Psycho will be thinking, oh no, not again behind Alexis. So he's immediately trying to get back up ahead, because he's got the tire temps, the tire pressures already dialed in. Zulakihara still directly out of the pits. Yes, there are tire warmers, but the pressures are not exactly in the working field in the start. Zulakihara will have an opportunity, two opportunities to overtake quite nicely, as long as he can stay in very close slipstream to Psycho Kaiser, one of which coming up after the next right-hander here. It's the back straight going into La Caixa. Let's take a look.
Zul missed the apex a little bit. Zul missed the apex there a little bit, and he lost a little bit of time to Psycho. However, he still has a little bit of a gap to DJ. I think that being teammates, the two of them, even though they're not in quite the same team, but being both Technoburst drivers, I don't think we will see the fiercest of battles here. Maybe an attempt at overtake here and there, but I don't think the Zoo will be hyper aggressive towards Psycho. Maybe he wants to sit in the slipstream, pull away from DJ, and secure a second position, as it looks like that is the case for the time being, with Psycho Kaiser passing first on the start-finish line, with Zulakihara behind, and DJ being in third. Not a bad job from the Technoburst drivers here.
You know, Psycho Kaiser just has a strong pace when he's in the clear. And that has been the problem so far. Earlier on behind DJ Overdrive, now behind Zulakihara. Ian the Terrible, now the last of our mandatory pit stops being done. But yeah, Zulakihara was able to catch up a bit on the start-finish straight. I mean, unsurprisingly, it's the Lexus, and the Lexus has a straight line, a wonder. It's quite a long of a straight line as well. The main straight here at Barcelona de Catalunya. So, completely understandable to catch up. Similar situation with Kaito Nasa, actually, who is now getting rather close to Primer Ice-T once again. The straight line speed of the Ford Mustang is just... it's there, especially compared to the Honda.
Yeah, that is... we will see. We shall see as...
But now, as the pits are completely done, let's take a look at how we're standing right now. We have Ruby Nekomata in the lead of the Pro Class. 5 seconds, over 5 seconds ahead of Omet Ohm. And if this continues like this, then there's a strong chance Ruby Nekomata will take home the championship today. Omet Ohm is in second position, currently still leading the championship, but will... lose the championship lead. Basically, they will be on equal points if they come into the finish like this. However, then it counts that Omet Ohm did have a did not start, while Ruby Nekomata did have another, I think, second or third. As we see Lily Yoshimi getting out of the way there. Exotillo Beats are currently in P3, which unfortunately does not seem to be enough to get into the P3 in the championship standings. That honor still belongs to Ryoma Kirihara at the moment, who is in P4, and Isaac Umbris would need to challenge that, but he is currently 4 seconds behind in P5. In the silver class...
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Yeah, sorry. I was commenting, a bit unfortunate for Isaac, because he is competing with Ryoma, but there is that gap, which I wouldn't say it's insurmountable, but it's not easy to close. So we'll see what Isaac will be able to do.
In the silver class, we have Psycho Kaiser currently in the lead, already crowned champion, will try to get another win under his belt in front of Zula Kihara, who has shown some strong pace in the qualifying session and in the race after having to catch up quite a lot from an incident in the beginning, but now in P2 in silver class. DJ Overdrive is in P3 in the silver class, but the gap is unfortunately growing to Zula Kihara in front. Zero Alexander is right behind DJ Overdrive as the leader of the AM class and has quite a handsome lead right now. Also crowned champion last round already, so is just trying to manifest that now. Kenneth Losgelöst is the fourth of the AM drivers today, has shown a very strong pace. Unfortunately, it is not enough in the race right now to challenge the other drivers. Taz the Bartender is second in the YAM class and is currently being followed by Neko Kitten. Unfortunately, last time around, Taz the Bartender has lost his championship hopes by being involved in a crash towards the end of the race. Neko Kitten has had a strong championship, is now in P3 in the M class, which is another strong finish. And Primer Ice-T, who has shown flashes of brilliance, is currently in P4, which may be disappointing for themselves, even considering they might be looking at P5 only soon, as Kaito Nasa is drawing close in the Ford Mustang. Fox Foxington is in P6 in the M class right now, quite a long margin behind the top 5, but is a handsome 10 seconds ahead of Selena Aino. Ian the Terrible is then in P8 in the M class, followed by Savage EJ. Imentric Saints is still racing, and Lily Yoshimi. Unfortunately, we've had a few DNFs already today in the AM class. But for now, let's continue with the battle as Neko Kitten is attacking Taz. The Bartender is trying to go for a move.
That is very late. That was very late on the brakes for Neko. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't mean to actually try and do such a dive. They just missed the braking point and they're like, oh god, let me slow down the car as soon as possible. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Unfortunately there was a contact, but I don't think it caused... yeah, I think that the amount of damage that was caused is pretty much negligible.
There might have been a bit, yeah, there might have been a bit of damage. However, it's not enough to make a lasting impact of the continuation of the race for both Taz the Bartender and Neko Kitten. At least I don't hope it will be. But yeah, this battle has now been cleared up. Zero Alexander, in the meantime, has been showing a bit of pace compared to DJ Overdrive. Is getting closer in some sectors. But then losing a bit of drive compared to the silver driver. I mean, honestly, quite a strong showing here by Zero Alexander to be in contention to battle with a silver driver in the first place, as well as being ahead of Kenneth Losgelöst right now. Very strong showing by Zero, really showing why she's a double champion.
I mean, we could maybe see Zero in silver classes in future championships. I think that she does have the potential to be there. That is genuinely a driver with a lot of potential, in my opinion, though.
She keeps saying that as soon as we switch over to iRacing, which will happen in the next season starting in January, that at least then she will be able to drive the Ford Mustang. A Ford Mustang which is not Frankenstein together as this one in ACC here is. For all of you who do not know about this, It is basically a modded car taking the sounds of the Jaguar and I think the physics model of the M4?
6, I think.
The M6?
Yeah.
Anyways, it is a sort of a Frankenstein vehicle in ACC.
That's a slider.
That is a slide. Yeah. Zero, just keep it together. Just 20 more minutes left to go, 19 even. And then you can rest until the next test. Oh, that was a rhyme. Further up ahead, we have Ryoma Kirihara now edging closer to Hexotil Ubica. Within a second now. Probably not able to catch up here on the straight. I don't know how the straight line actually compares between the BMW and the Aston. I just know that the Aston is not the best car for a straight line speed. However, looking at the time of the last laps for both of them, Ubica did a 1:45.030, whereas Ryoma Kirihara was 8/10 quicker with a 1:44.210. It seems that right now the pace is with Ryoma Kirihara, looking to get back into that P3 position.
Yeah, I mean, getting back into P3 will mean that you have a bigger safety net against Isaac Ambers, even though the gap is huge. There is 7 seconds and a half. Isaac is really struggling. I think that Ryoma will be able to get that bronze here for the championship and secure that third position, which is overall very solid. Very solid showing from the Malaysian driver here, which we all know is very, very fast. I know that firsthand. I remember that my first time fighting him was that Imola race that I think the only race that I did that season, no? Yeah, I had a lot of fun fighting with Ryoma, but I just couldn't find a place to overtake him, and so, yeah. I think that Ryoma is experiencing something similar here with Hexalotl. Hexalotl, I don't remember. In a very technical track. Hexotil. Thank you, Hexotil Pizza. Yeah, I think that in a track like this version of Montmeló, I do not think that Ryoma will be able to find a lot of places to overtake, sadly.
I will be honest.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Hexotil hears the Hexalotl quite often.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we will need to ask them later after the race, I suppose.
Absolutely, we do. And if they have not heard that before, I would be very surprised if they have not heard that before. Or, but yeah, axolotls are great little funny water dudes.
Goobers.
So and dudettes.
Yeah, they're goobers. They're funny goobers.
Absolutely, they are nice mascots to have. Thus, the bartender, in the meanwhile, is back on the rear of Kenneth Losgelus, is now within half a second, maybe able to make the move now. I find it quite interesting. Early on in the race, it seemed that Tarls had this race under lock and key for the M class, but it did not turn out to be like that. Now only in P2, 10 seconds behind Zero Alexander, 11 seconds even behind. Looking to overtake potentially on Kenneth Losgelus. Maybe that, or maybe not. Maybe, again, not trying to go for something too risky, which might ruin both of their races.
I mean, maybe. I think that Tars will probably... I'm not sure. I think that Tars will want to try and not lose time, that's for sure. I think that if he feels like... kind of is making him lose a lot of time, I think that he will try and go for a move. But I think that if he feels like he's not losing any time to Nico Kitten, he might probably be happy to sit here, take this slipstream of Losgelust in both the main and back straight and not lose any time by fighting. Just sit in this slipstream, gain there, don't fight. Just put your second place in a
I do have the feeling, though, that at this stage of the race, Tals does have a higher pace potential than Kenneth does.
I agree. I definitely agree with this, as
It could be a
Tals has
symbiotic.
showed, yeah.
It could be a symbiotic relationship there, basically. Tals overtaking and giving the slipstream to Kenneth. If Tals was able to have a bit of a higher pace, then they might even be able to still catch Zero and DJ up ahead. I'm not quite sure whether that would be possible with an 11-second gap at the moment for 13 minutes remaining.
Unless something were to happen to Zero, no, I would say very much no. One other thing I will say is that I see that Tars is very tight on a lot of exits. I think that that's making him lose quite a lot of time. So, Tars, if you're listening to us, I would recommend trying to focus a little bit more on exit, trying to focus a little bit more speed on corner exits, as that will really go a long way.
Apex and exits, Tars. Apex and exits.
Yes. And... I mean, looks like he's listening a little bit. Still very tight, but less tight than the previous time, so maybe he's actually listening to us. That wouldn't be a bit of an unfair, giving an unfair advantage to our drivers.
Tals, if you're listening, drive faster.
Got my answer, I guess.
Well... Zero Alexander as well is right on the tail of DJ Overdrive, not going for a move right now. I mean, Zero is, as we have mentioned, 11 seconds ahead of Tars. Zero really does not need to try and go for any moves at this stage. Is in a comfortable position, can take the slipstream, staying in the slipstream of Alexis is quite fascinating on the straight.
Actually.
Two Lexi even, yeah, exactly. But they are not on the same lap. That is DJ Overdrive coming up to Savage EJ, actually. DJ and EJ. Oh boy. Oh boy!
Bit little takes on DJ. That could have been worse, but glad it didn't.
DJ, just because you're just right behind your mates doesn't mean you need to show off.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it could have ended in so many worse ways, but I'm glad it did not.
But anyways, providing content as always, DJ Overdrive is really a nice content creator to be around.
Yes. Yes.
There was a bit of a yellow flag here, unfortunately, for Lily Yoshimi. I just went wide here.
I mean, to be fair, that is not the old layout. That is not even the rallycross layout. That is an entirely new layout, I think.
Absolutely.
So that is interesting.
New rallycross layouts unlocked. But for now, let's go back to Primer Ice-T, actually, who has caught up to Neko Kitten.
Yeah. Primer might actually be able to secure quite a lot of points for rev up by Technoburst if they are able to overtake Neko Kitten. You know, the team championship is still very open. Anything can still happen for the teams. So will be interesting to see if Primer will be ever able to capitalize on what is happening here.
Interestingly, Kaitonas is also right behind that. But interestingly, Omet Orm is right behind Kaitonasa. Omet Orm will try to will want to move past this AM battle as quickly and painlessly as possible.
Yeah, and to be fair, Rubin Komata already did and has been able to put a lot of lap cars between the two of them, as Primer Ice-T is going to go for the inside. Nice overtake, textbook overtake even, as that is a nice move, as Kaitonasa lets Omet on by right behind them, losing a little bit of time to this battle, but I think he's kind of banking on the fact that this will lose time between that battle and Omet home lapping them. So I think that was a calculated move from Kaito.
Omet Ohm being led past here by Kaitonasa, Kaitonasa, I'm sorry. Neko Kitten, of course, no problem with that. Now we'll have to see how Primer Ice-T deals with this unprecedented situation.
Also, I just realized Nico Kitten, isn't that, well, saying cat twice, basically?
Cat kitten,
Like
basically. Cat kitten.
Cat kitten, yeah.
Cat kitten.
I mean, okay, I mean, it is funny as Primary Ice-T actually goes very wide. I don't think that was on purpose, and basically lets Omet on by. However, I would like to point out that Kaito Nasa is right there, and I think that he was able to bank very well on the lapping that happened.
Well, not quite. He hasn't made up the position because Neko Kitten is back up ahead. Primer Ice-T, however, even though went off quite widely in La Caixa, still up ahead. And quite handsomely, might I say now. 1 second ahead of Neko Kitten.
Yeah, I didn't say that he was able to bank on what happened perfectly. He did it well, not perfectly. There is a difference, Julian.
Oh!
Actually!
But that was all but perfect. That was not perfect in the slightest. Kaito Nasa tapping the rear here of Neko Kitten. Does wait, however, so stays behind
Good sportsmanship,
the double cat.
Good sportsmanship, but oh boy.
Yeah,
that could have been way worse.
It could have been way worse. Unfortunately, this means that both Neko Kitten and Kaito Nasa are now quite a ways behind Primer Ice-T, and Primer is now in a quite safe space. 8 seconds behind Tulsa Bartender and 6 seconds ahead of Neko Kitten. We'll just have to lap for this past 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that would be just a nice cruise. Very easy, very lovely. I wouldn't say uneventful, but no news means that there is also no bad news, and no bad news is always a good thing.
Especially for Ruby Nekomata, who stands to win the championship here and right now.
Unless something were to happen.
Which we, of course, do not hope for. Right?
Yeah, that would totally make for awful content, right? I really don't want to see Omet getting closer and thus give us awful content for the end of this race. Totally. I'm sorry.
I will say that, though, so far it looks very safe for Ruby Nekomata. Was not even involved in any incident so far. So not even the potential for a penalty as of this second, as there is a yellow flag for Psycho Kaiser.
Oh, what happened here? That seems a little bit weird. Oh, I think that's grass on X and corner entry. Yeah, grass on corner entry. Doesn't send it into the wall. That's just a bit of gravel, but ooh, that was scary.
Yeah, now only 9 to 10 more seconds ahead of Zula Kihara, so
I mean, Silver has pretty much plateaued. Not much is really happening on there.
Silver has peaked.
Yeah.
Silver has peaked with Psycho Kaiser winning the class last time around. So now back to Zero Alexander, who is looking to even take advantage of that by peaking even further than Silver class. Still behind DJ Overdrive in some situations, being able to be faster than the driver up ahead. In some situations, losing a bit of pace. But yeah, it looks so far so safe. I would say Zero Alexander still in the P1, looking to get that final win this season to round off the championship. Selena Aino is now getting closer to G Fox Foxington. This is for P7. 6 in class, in the M class. There is still a bit of a potential here for more points for both of them, or well, more points for Selena, less points for G-Fox. G-Fox will not want it, goes for a defensive line. Selena Aino side by side though. Who has the better exit? Selena tries to go for the cutback, not quite there.
Good defense from G-Fox, both into the corner and on the apex. Very nice showing from the German driver. But however, Selena might be able to use the Lexus power on this straight in order to overpower the M4. Not if you're losing so much time though in the Rack Chicane. The Rack Chicane is the last place in the world where you want to lose time. It looks like she was able to regain something later, as now he's going to sit in the slipstream and he's going to try and power to the field. Let's see what will come out of it.
She is definitely pushing it to the limit, Watouche right now, and is trying to overtake around the outside on G-Fox Foxington, who is able to stay on the inside line, stay up ahead, later braking, better exit as well. So Selena Aino still has to stay back for now. There will be a few more opportunities though for Selena to take it back, maybe even here on the outside. How did that work? But the next corner is a right-hander, 180 degrees, so there is enough space on the inside for G-Fox Foxington to save on time, and he does exactly that through Repsol, stays on the inside and defends.
Very tight on entry, that means that he's going to have a worst exit, and which means Selena will be able to chew that gap down a little bit more, ever so slightly more, as now Selena is very close. Why going defensive here, G-Fox? She's not going to run overtake here, and look, now she's got a much better exit.
Both of the lines have been hampered.
Yeah, she might try and go for a move, but G-Fox breaks late. Selena might be able no, that's not breaking late.
Parking it on the apex. Beautiful braking there by G-Fox.
Very nice showing. I am pleasantly surprised about it.
And Selena, a bit of a struggle here, trying to accelerate out of the corner. Does spin the tires a bit. Oh, that's wide. Oh, that's wide.
Yeah. Unlucky that is a little bit wide.
So Selena now not close enough anymore to really go for anything on this straight this time around. But with only slightly more than 2 minutes left on the clock, let's check in back with Ruby Nekomata, who is the leader and is looking to take home the championship right now. With this win, would pretty much manifest her in the lead here without a problem.
She also improved her gap from a match that is just mind-blowing domination.
Yeah, over 8 seconds up ahead now, and is looking
and she
to lap.
Might be on the final lap. I mean, it depends if she wants to take it easy here or if she wants to go for one more, because she could potentially be the one who decides that.
No, this is I think this is the final lap. I think this is definitely the final lap.
Is it?
I think even if Ruby is pushing now, she would come across the finish line 1 second after the timer stops.
Okay, I see.
I'm fairly certain here. So it seems that Ruby Nekomata now most likely on the final lap, even after having to overtake Lily Yoshimi here. And this is the final lap, which decides the championship in the pro class. Ruby Nekomata has battled Omet Om fiercely through the season, but this round today seemed to be the best, although one of the best, if not the best, performances in terms of consistency anyways that Ruby Nekomata has had this season.
Absolutely dominating performance. That is just a masterclass. If you ever want to see a masterclass in dominating performance, just look here. She just did that. That is wow.
Absolutely.
I'm speechless. I'm genuinely speechless about what she just did.
Now we'll just have to see. 10 more seconds. I don't think this will be enough to get... Oh! A bit of a spin here as well. Yeah, the race is over, and this is Ruby Nekomata, who will be... without...
Your Vtracc Pro Championship.
I will have to say that there is a slight potential that there might be a penalty should something be reported, which is penalty worthy to the tune of 10 seconds. I did not see anything during the race, so it seems that Ruben Ekamata has won this championship quite handsomely today. Well, I say quite handsomely. It's on equal points with Omet Om right now. However, has managed... Well, the sixth result basically is the one that decided it in this case, because both of them had 3 victories and 2 second places. And then it's just the 6th result which decides the difference between Omet Om and Ruben Ekamata today. Ian the Terrible still picks up a drive-through penalty here towards the end of the race. Unfortunate ending. Yeah, that might very well be the case. But right behind that is Psycho Kaiser, who is also rounding up the championship for this season with a final victory. Has won the championship last time around already, and now has done another fast victory. Same thing for Zero Alexander, won the championship last round already, but today she finally, well, basically she just closed the bag and made it a beautiful finale to the season. Ryoma Kirihara finished in the end ahead of Isaac Umbras, and I think that means Ryoma Kirihara has the third position in the pro standings at the end of the season. So congratulations for the podium drivers then, Ruben Ekamata, Omet Om, and Ryoma Kirihara.
Very nice showing there from all of our drivers. Not too shabby at all. That was genuinely an enjoyable race. Sorry. Okay. Pardon. That was a genuinely enjoyable race.
It was so enjoyable that our Italian friend here had to perish immediately.
Yeah, good showing from our drivers, because those were solid performances. Maybe not the most exciting extreme battles on track, but solid performances overall, good driving. So, I mean, good driving doesn't mean necessarily a bunch of overtakes. That may just be solid driving, and that's what I've seen.
And yes.
So overall, impressed. On a positive side. Very, very nice.
Exactly. And this was, as we said in the beginning, the final race of this season and the final race of ACC Vtracc for now, because next season we will be going over to iRacing. And next season will start in January. There will be more details about that in the Discord server, which you can join by going to the website tracc.eu/discord. The link for that is in the chat. You can find out all more info there, or as well here on the YouTube channel by just subscribing. Then you will be notified of the live streams for coming up then. For now, congratulations to Ruben Ekamata for winning the championship. I've been Julian Strasser. Yeah?
1 second, Julian.
Yeah?
They can also follow us on Bluesky if they want to catch up to what is going to happen next for our championships and co. So remember to follow us on Bluesky as well, chat. Don't miss that.
And now that we're plugging everything, Patreon, please. Running service is expensive. In any case, I have been Julian Strasser. With me has been the Italian Jojo today. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you on the racetrack.